Process validation is an essential part of the pharma industry because back in the early 2000s, there was a drug shortage, and that was caused by companies not understanding what it took to get a safe and compliant product to the patients. And back in 2010, half of the products on the pink sheet came from a facility that I was at. And those products were life-saving drugs that people needed. Their kids needed them. And the reason we had the problem was people hadn't validated the process. And when I say validated the process, I mean that they didn't go through the steps to make sure that the product was robust, repeatable, and that the people were trained effectively and efficiently to be able to do the job right the first time. The process validation guidelines were an attempt to try to answer that and put steps in place to stop the loss of product. But unfortunately, it created more questions than it gave answers. So you put a regulation in front of companies and they really didn't understand it. There's a lot of things in this guide that are important because not every company has a statistician. And so when you go to those companies and you're expecting them to understand confidence intervals and what risk is and how that relates to actual batch production, that's a problem. So the guide that we created actually has a lot of those answers, and we have appendices in there and we have case studies that show how to make a product that is compliant and is repeatable and will be able to delay the loss of product for patients who need it. This guide was developed by the experts for the experts. And so if you're entering into process validation, if you're thinking about doing process validation, you need this guide because it takes you step by step through the process so that the people on your team and the regulatory experts see a common language, a common way of doing things, and you're able to get through the approval process faster and more effectively.